Coronavirus is the biggest threat this country has faced for decades. You must stay at home.
My name is Ryan Brown. I play guitar in Electric Circus.
My name is Shaun. I'm the lead singer and the rhythm guitarist, and the band name is Electric Circus.
I'm Bradley. The band is called Electric Circus, and I play bass.
So my name is Jordan, and I'm the drummer of Electric Circus.
COVID was the catalyst for the formation of the band.
Just after COVID it was, after we came out of all of that mess. We sort of, me and Shaun met, and then it went from there really. Found Jordan, found Ryan, and here we are.
We must have all had the same sort of thought process of thinking I want to get back into music, and met each other online, and yeah, the rest is history.
Initially when we first started out, it was difficult because you're trying to get gigs, you're trying to promote yourself, you're trying to do stuff, and I think like twice during COVID or something like that we had to stop practicing, so we'd start practicing, stop practicing, start and stop. So initially it was a bit of a hindrance to it, but I think it has actually been positive mainly more than anything.
I think after COVID a lot more people wanted to get out and about more, so sort of attendance at shows and stuff, because you've had that taken away from you. Everybody kind of wanted to go and do it again, so there was a lot of resurgence in the music scene, I think.
In terms of financing the band itself, obviously we all work full-time jobs outside of music, and we put a healthy dose of our paycheck into a communal account each month. That sustains practice costs, you know, any instrument modifications we need, new strings, new drumsticks. So it's just finding a balance between personal costs and, you know, what needs to be provided in order to keep us going, really.
Previously we hadn't been in a band before that, so I can't say that we would have had a bigger audience compared to previously to what we've got now. So I think people do still try, and people do still want to come out, but it's harder to get maybe a new audience from it because people aren't willing to risk money that they've got on something new when they don't have that much money to risk.
We've got a headline show at the back end of this year in October at a much bigger venue than ones we've sold out in the past. So it'll be interesting to see how many people we can recruit for that one, given the current economic climate.
Everything closed, there was just not enough support for the arts industry in general, to be honest.
But venues, I know that a lot of them have had to close down just because the cost of living crisis has just rammed everything up. You've seen with Bobiks before as well, that venue's now closed. So you can see there's a few venues that have been affected by it, and it's because it's not as much of a safe bet putting a local band on, that's what it is. So it's harder for us to get gigs with venues when they're not going to be able to then get the costs back in and stuff for themselves. So
especially the cost of living, the prices of everything now, it's just ridiculous. Like when you're having to balance all your money, sometimes gig tickets and stuff get sacked off really, which is unfortunate, but if it's a choice between going and see a band or eating or paying your bills, I completely understand.
It's the first band I've been in where we've like really clicked all together, and there's like a really strong friendship there, as well as like the musicianship. Like we can hang out and we don't have to talk about music or anything. I mean, we end up anywhere, but yeah, it's just nice to hang out with the guys as well.
My name's Lee Johnson. The studio is In-House Studios. I own the studio with my business partner, so my personal part of it is Fourth Audio, which is where I do all my production stuff. So I'm a recording engineer, mixing engineer, mastering engineer, producer as well. So I pretty much record artists, sometimes podcasts, audiobooks, anything that needs any sort of engineering sessions done really. Started building it summer of 2015, so we opened beginning of 2016. So yeah, it's been going really well. Obviously COVID hit, so that was a big chew. This is now like all I do. Initially I was doing different work. I used to work in a bar, and I worked as a courier for a while, and I juggled a few different things. Then COVID hit, and then after that I had to do it again, and then now I'm back to kind of just doing this like full time. It was a mix of things really. We struggled with getting aid from the government. People just got this initial payout and stuff, and we didn't. I mean, we did get a little bit of help in the end, but we had to jump through a lot of hoops to get it. Positives also come with negatives, so for me, a lot of the bands that I'd spent all that time prior, built a relationship with, bands would come in to do one song, then they'd come in to do a couple of songs, and they started to come in and do EPs. Quite a lot of the bands that I had under my belt decided to disband during COVID or post-COVID. All that work and gaining clients and stuff and creating relationships with people just pretty much went back from scratch, which is why I started doing another job at the same time. You know, but most bands are saving money from their jobs and they're pulling the money together and stuff like that, so I get it's a struggle, and like I'm always just happy as long as I'm making enough and I'm comfortable and I'm doing something I enjoy, which I do, then I'm happy. So I do feel bad when I have to put my rates up, but obviously the cost of living crisis is just a nightmare.
I'm Sam Roberts. So this is TapYard Studios and I'm the owner here. So yeah, I mean, for the last sort of between 10 and 15 years I've been a sound engineer for bands, which is kind of part of the vision of this place. But I started off playing in bands in high school and then got into production. Alongside that I was managing bars. So to me this place is like a culmination of all that. It's the hospitality management as well as the love for music. 6 months old, so we weren't operating through COVID in this venue, but I did manage a really similar venue in Leeds called Blueberry Hill Studios. Obviously we had to close for the pandemic, but we saw a real boom after it as well. So I think with the cost of living crisis, people have less money in their pockets and seem to be going out less. But again, it just means that venues and businesses have got to work harder to innovate and put the right kind of events on to get people through the doors.
I'm Laura and I'm a music management manager and event manager, and I work on PR campaigns for independent artists.
I'm Jay and I'm essentially a freelancer in music doing a variety of different things, including artist management and live music promotion, as well as the festival side of working at festivals and then also running our own.
I've started working in music, I think in 2016.
For myself, also 2016 in the sense of like the more formal side of things. The Elias Alternative. Okay. So I do events at Mosaic Tap and it's around a lot of other venues, so maybe like a 5-minute walk to then Head of Steam. So it was a case of being friends with these people and trying to think of how to publicise the venues whilst also celebrating a bit more of the city centre, a way to put on an event that would benefit artists.
It's been quite hard trying to get people out again, and definitely when we're looking at booking gigs now, I think for me a lot more of a focus is comfort as well. Like, okay, have the possibility for people to sit down at gigs, have some hot drinks and give them a bit more of that like homely feeling. It's been hard, I think, especially for venues and the cost of having a venue open, such as, you know, having the light on, electricity and just having things running.
And I think that what we did is we expanded a lot more things on PR and online services and using different freelance websites as well as offering different services as well to then cast a wider net with what we were doing